Hello guys, today we are going to see the lead code question 200, that is number of islands. We are given a m cross n 2D binary grid which represents a map of 1 that represent land and 0 which represent water. Return the number of islands. A island is surrounded by water and is formed by connecting adjacent horizontally or vertically 1. So you may assume all the 4 edges of all the grid surrounded by water. So here we have all the ones which are connected with each other either vertically or horizontally are considered as the island. So here, as this is the island, only single island is present, as all the ones are consecutively connected to each other or adjacently connected, which may be the row or column. This is the one single island that is present over here. And if there would be, suppose this would be 1, so there would be 2 number of islands, and this is the separated. As this one gets separated from other, so there would be one more island present over here, so answer would be 2. But as the single one structure is present consecutively, either connected horizontally or vertically, so the output is 1, that is only a single island is present. So let us see another example. Here is another example in which this part is one island, as they are connected consecutively. One island is this, it is present independent to other, and this is 1, so total output is 3. Let us see the code of the question. We will be using DFS and we will be checking whether in all the 4 directions, if 1 is present, then we have to mark it as 2, or any other numbers we can mark it as. And if we will be calling the DFS and we will be checking for only ones, and we will be traversing all the ones over there, and we will be converting to 2 or any other number. And if any of the number would not, if for each of the DFS call, if all the ones gets visited in a single recursive call, suppose we would call for 1, so this one will also be visited, this one will be visited, and this one will be visited. And for that the count would increase by, and we will take a count variable, count will increase by 1. Then further we would be traversing the whole 2D array, and we would be checking if this element or this cell is encountered. Further another time the DFS function will be called, and in all the 4 directions no one could be found, and so count would increase by 2 and would increase to 2. And then again the recursive the iteration would continue, and would check for 1, 1, and in BFS call this one would be traversed, and in all the directions no one would be present, so the count would finally increase by 3, as another one is present over here, so final count is 3. Let us see the code of the question. So this is the DFS call we have made at the first. If index is less than 0, greater than row, or less than 0 or greater than column, that is the I and j. And if it is not equal to 1, then we have to just return. If it is 1, then we have to make it as 2, and we have to check in all the 4 directions whether 1 is present or not. If not, then it would get returned. And in the num island function, n is the number of rows, m is the number of columns, and the answer is taken to store the answer. And if n is 0, that means no grid is present, we have to return 0, and we have to iterate over the whole matrix, and we have to check whether 1 is present. If 1 is present, then that I comma j, or that cell row and column number along with the total number of rows and columns will be passed to the solve or the DFS function. And for each of the recursive call, suppose it will be called for 0 comma 0, so if the number of 0 once connected to 0 comma 0 would be traversed and would be converted to 2, and at the last, during the backtracking process, the answer variable would get incremented by 1. So first all the ones are ones for a particular, or for a particular node, all the nearby ones by the DFS call would be traversed, and during the backtracking the answer would get incremented, and finally we have to return the answer. Thank you.